on at least before the whistle blew.
Well said, McGraw. Yes, the game. Some people thought the game was over, but the ball was still in play, and we're still working hard to make this happen. So feel very good about it. Actually, feel better about it than I ever have.
Well, first of all, congratulations. Give us a sense of how, after the city vote failed, I know you guys clearly did not have a plan B. You said you didn't have a plan B, and it seemed like it was as dead as could be. How did you get to this point?
No, you're spot on. We didn't have a plan B. I think a lot of people thought we did. We did not. And I will tell you the plan pretty much went dormant, and there really wasn't a whole lot of talk. You know, at that point, you know, it was something I was still very interested in doing. And I even as we walked through the vote and going through the entire process before, thought not only is this a great opportunity for the soccer fans in St. Louis, but this is a great opportunity and very important to St. Louis. So that being said, you know, Andy called me and just basically stated he wanted to get together and catch up over lunch and hear more about, you know, soccer. What does MLS? What does it really mean? What do I think it means to St. Louis? And we sat down. I walked them through the numbers, the challenges, and why I think it would be important. And you know, that was probably 120 days ago or so. From there, we continued the dialogue, got together again, and I would say in a fairly short period of time, we came together and said, hey, this is something that we need to do. It's something we need to figure out. It's something St. Louis needs. And it's so aligned so well with so many other positive things that are going on with St. Louis. So that's kind of fast-tracking a lot of different things.
Sure.
You know, through that process, I'll just tell you that, you know, we met with the governor, you know, a couple times. We met with the mayor multiple times and their staff to go through it, the county executive, the board of different people on the board of aldermen. Went up and visited with Don Garber, the commissioner of MLS, and his executive management team. So a lot of things going on behind the scenes that we wanted to make sure that we did a more than reasonable job from a due diligence perspective before we came out with anything public.
Sure.
So we feel pretty good about where we are.
It sounds like the governor and the state needs to be in on this. I know you're short on details, and I'm sure the details will come in the future, but it sounds like, however the deal is structured, you guys taking on the overwhelming majority of the costs, that the governor had to be in on it and agree with this to help it move forward.
You know, there's a couple of things, and I've heard a few comments that you had on some of your earlier show, which I found quite entertaining. But overall, you need the political leaders to be supportive of this effort, and from just being more progressive and then understanding and supportive of the economics of it. So to have the governor supporting us is absolutely a critical piece. And then also having the governor and the staff supportive on figuring out a win-win from an economics perspective. And that's just simply, how do we convey the land? And if anybody has seen the land today, it's basically a blighted area that it can be so important and instrumental and synergistic to what's going on downtown. So you need the governor's support. You need their help verbally to promote this, but you also need them to help with the conveyance of the land. So we feel very good on both of those points.
Yeah. I guess you don't need another vote of the people from the city because you're not asking for any subsidies, right?
Correct. The only thing that we're doing, you know, last time it would be a citywide vote or a vote that would tax, payers across, the city. This time, it's purely the individuals that are coming to a game, that are buying a ticket or some type of concession at the game or at anything we do at the stadium would be paying a small tax on the revenue generated via the new stadium. And that's as simple as it gets. so that literally the stadium and the MLS team will generate the revenue for the city and for any benefits that the collective ownership team gets.
What's the timeline on this? When do you suspect the MLS to announce their decision on a franchise? And then how long then after that do you think you might see an opening day here in St. Louis?
So, the big things that we have to get figured out, and we're moving aggressively on all these, is one, we need to work with the state, which we are, in regards to the conveyance of the land, so working with the state and the city, and then working with the mayor and the board of aldermen to finalize the tax scenario that I just discussed at a high level. And those two things we're working aggressively on. As we finalize those, we get the conveyance of the land. We will then aggressively work with the MLS and demonstrate to them that we have the support of the community, which I think through yesterday's press conference and the feedback we're getting is off the charts good. What we're also going to need to demonstrate to the MLS is that we have the support of the business community, meaning sponsors. It could be naming rights, jerseys, different things. They just want to see that we have both political leaders, community, fans, and the business community that are going to support this team that drives long-term success. So all of those pieces will get factored in, and then McGraw, we're looking at probably a 2022 would be the start date.
Yeah. So explain to those who are not soccer aficionados like myself. You own the St. Louis FC. Big game coming up here. We'll get to that if we have a second. But we already have the infrastructure. We already have the pyramid, if you will. So when the Major League Soccer team comes, there's already the infrastructure in place for long-term success. Explain that for a second.
No, and that's another feather in our cap that the MLS sees, that a lot of the other teams and cities that are going out and bringing MLS to their local community, they have to build this soccer pyramid, which starts with a Division II USL team, academy teams that are linked to the MLS and to the U.S. national teams and the youth teams and women's teams, girls teams that we have. All of that is built into the infrastructure, along with the connectivity to all the clubs that are in the community. Lou Fuse, JB Marine, that's all part of the ecosystem of this collective pyramid that we're building, that we have in place. And as soon as we get things finalized, we can literally convert that into an integrated platform, starting with MLS on the top, cascading down throughout that pyramid.
Yeah. The other thing, I find it interesting, for all these years I was sucking up to you, Jim Cavanaugh, because I thought you were going to be the owner. I should have been sucking up to Carolyn Kindle Betts, right?
That's correct. And all the women of the Taylor family. So now I could not be more excited about the partnership that we have. Working with the Taylor family, it's been a pleasure. As you know, they've done incredible things for our community, great business people, and to really to connect with them as an investor and a partner on this operation and just investment in our community, I think is just it's a dream team.
Yeah.
So very, very, very happy for this situation I'm in.
Well, and look, as much as it's great, and you deserve a lot of credit too, right? You've been a soccer fan. You've put your money where your mouth is. You have laid the groundwork. You were rejected whatever it was 2-3 years ago with that city vote. For you to keep coming back, it's also a testament to you. And when the story of St. Louis soccer is written, there's a big chapter called Jim Cavanaugh.
No, thanks, McGraw. I appreciate it. And as I mentioned, my view is there's nothing great that happens without a lot of stops and starts and an incredible amount of hard work. So, if you stop just because something doesn't go your way the first time out, you're probably not going to have a lot of success. And my view with this is just the structure we have in place as the ownership group. I think it creates just, great continuity with the soccer community, with a lot of the history that I have and what we've built with St. Louis FC and the community in general with what the Taylors have done and the ownership team. So I really do think we're going to do some special teams do some special things for the community with this overall ownership group.
Jim Cavanaugh, thank you for the time. We're always here when you want to get the word out, and good luck the rest of the way, and we're looking forward to the whole thing.
Hey, one thing, McGraw, keep promoting tonight's game. We've got it 7 o'clock out at the soccer park. It's going to be a packed house, so many people. It's going to be a fun night.
Are there tickets available still?
There are a few available, and we think that tonight this is the run for the playoffs. So this is a very important game. Just one of 2 games left, one tonight and one Saturday night.
Jim Cavanaugh, thanks for the time. Good luck tonight.
Thank you, McGraw.
You got it.